It's a real milestone for us as Ministry of Agriculture and the country at large. Because one of the problems that we have been facing today is the issue of cancer, the prevalent infection of cancer to our people. That our people are really suffering. And with the opening of this plant, we have done a major intervention because farmers will be able to apply aflasafe to prevent contamination at farm level. And again, that health being preventive, not curative, is that we shall be able to prevent our people from contaminating the disease through consuming of maize and other staples that are already affected by aflatoxin. It is a very advanced technology, but very easy to use. For example, we have seen that 1 acre of land will be applying 10 kgs of aflasafe, and 1 kilogram of aflasafe is costing 135 shillings, meaning that for you to apply in 1 acre, you only require 1,350. But the most important thing that we are calling for is that we partner with the county government. Because again, by using aflasafe, it is another additional cost to the farmers. And therefore, in the course of helping our farmers, we are asking governors to come in so that we can use this as subsidy to our farmers to start with. And the government is ready to have a collaboration, partnership with those counties that are willing. Because by the end of the day, if you look at the amounts of maize that we are losing from the same 1 acre of land, and comparing with the application of aflasafe, it will be a benefit to the farmers. But we need to sensitize them. If you look at the monies that this country is going to save in terms of health, the millions we are spending and billions every year through taking our patients to India and also locally. And the effects of this plant will be felt in 10 years or so. Because by the end of the day, when we apply aflasafe and people now start consuming safe maize, you see the prevalence of cancer going down over time. And therefore, it's a major gain because today it will be applied and immediately by the end of the season, you'll harvest safe maize. But importantly, it is over time that those areas that are hotspots, like Tharaka-Nithi, Meru, Embu, Makueni, Machakos, Kitui, Kilifi, Kwale, Tana River, those counties, at least you'll be able to see the effect if they do proper application of aflasafe. And therefore, it is a big win for the government. It's a big win for the people of Kenya. The most important thing is that we must ensure that we sensitize, do a lot of sensitization, and we are calling for partnership with the media houses, all of us, so that Kenyans can be able to be aware that really we can fight cancer, that really we can have safe food. Because it's not an issue of only having food, but we need safe food for our people. And it is the responsibility of the government, and government I mean both national and county government, to ensure that we give our people safe food. Likewise, if you look at the economic gains, for example, last year, we were able to destroy 2.3 million bags of maize because of contamination. If you can imagine that you only 1 bag of maize was costing 2 million at the harvest time, 2,000 at the harvesting time, it would mean that farmers lost 4.6 million. That is direct income to those farmers. Farmers will continue to become poor because in some areas like Machakos County and other counties that are hotspots, sometimes we force them to destroy the whole crop. Meaning those farmers, and nobody is cushioning them, they always go make losses year in, year out. But with aflasafe, it means those farmers can now be able to develop, they can become proud Kenyans, and we shall be fighting poverty in this country.
Today is the culmination of many years of hard work and partnership. The United States government, through the U.S. Agency for International Development and the U.S. Department of Agriculture has been working hand in hand with the government and the people of Kenya through CALRO and IITA. Now, I want to be honest with you. This has been a long and sometimes difficult process. We've learned many lessons along the way about how to better work together and deliver new technologies to the farmers and consumers who need it most. The cornerstone partners of aflasafe, IITA, CALRO, the public sector, private companies, development partners, we found that sometimes the innovations that we develop can get stuck if we don't connect together and work together. And as we move forward with the commissioning of this facility, we need to be much more ambitious about getting innovations to scale so that they reach every person in Kenya. Because that is how we will get aflatoxin-free food to every man, woman, and child in this country. The United States government and the Kenyan government's shared vision for Kenya is a country that enjoys higher living standards, greater economic growth, and closer ties to my country, the United States, through shared prosperity. And that's why we take risks like aflatoxin so seriously. Over the last decade, the United States government has invested 850 million shillings, including 450 million shillings for this factory alone, to fight aflatoxin in Kenya. And that comes from the American people to the people of Kenya. This facility is the first of its kind in East Africa and demonstrates how Kenya now has an opportunity to lead the region. Tanzania, Malawi, Rwanda, and Ethiopia have taken note, and they are also moving towards aflasafe production in their own countries, in partnership with the private sector. As my colleagues have mentioned, aflatoxin is destructive, and it threatens Kenya's achievement of the Big Four agenda. You all here today, you know what many people in Kenya do not know: how aflatoxin affects maize and ground nuts, such as peanuts, staples of the diet of the people of Kenya. And it makes those staple foods unsuitable for human or animal consumption. It creates severe risks of illness and death. And from an economic standpoint, it destroys the marketability of farm and feed products, not just here in Kenya, but when Kenya wants to sell to other countries as well. So the development of aflasafe and the commissioning of this factory provides hope for all of us. The product you make in this factory, aflasafe, will save lives, increase farmers' incomes, and boost the economic development of Kenya as a regional power. In addition to consistently using aflasafe, farmers and millers here in Kenya need to practice good post-harvest handling and properly store and process their crops. And so the U.S. government is partnering with the government of Kenya to support these goals as well. The U.S. government strongly encourages Kenya to implement harmonized food safety standards across the region. Food safety is essential for agricultural trade. Without meeting food safety requirements, commodities cannot cross borders, and that damages the economic growth of Kenya. You know, aflatoxin is not just a Kenyan or an East Africa issue. In the United States, we control for aflatoxin as well. And we do so in partnership with the private sector, using market forces to make sure that aflatoxin-free food is profitable for producers and for consumers. So I'd like to celebrate CALRO's new partnership with the private sector. The private sector is very well positioned to ensure that innovations like aflasafe are distributed through self-sustaining markets. This is a really wonderful example of a public-private partnership that is very well positioned to positively help every person in Kenya. And so I would like to applaud CalRO's leadership and flexibility alongside the technology leader on the continent of Africa, IITA. Congratulations to both of you. Lastly, I would like to challenge all of us here today to take a bold, multi-sectoral approach to solve the problem of aflatoxin. Moving forward, Kenyans need to work together. We need cooperation between CalRO, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Health, the Bureau of Standards, private sector companies, and consumers. We need to educate people about aflatoxin. It's a silent, invisible killer. But with education, we can teach farmers, producers, consumers why aflasafe is a better product for them. With leadership and with your action, we can make a real difference in people's lives. I would like to thank all of the partners in both the public and private sectors who are committed to supporting Kenya in achieving its development goals. Today marks an important milestone towards greater food security, good health, and economic prosperity here in Kenya and across the region. And I'm very proud to be with you here today. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Asante.